I did it. I'm finally doing it. I'm finally making a YouTube video. And I realized, I know, the background ghetto. The background ghetto got my bonnet. This is not a bonnet, it's a bandana. Got my bandana in my hair because this new growth ain't no joke. But we finally out here. So yes, welcome. Everyone's new to my YouTube channel because this is my first video. So welcome. Hey, how y'all doing? You wanna talk? Let's talk. So basically, what I have planned in this video right now, honestly, honest to God, all I wanna do is talk about the Umbrella Academy. Look, if you have not watched this show, I'm gonna need you to stop this video and watch both seasons. Watch both seasons real fast, really quick, and then come back to this video and then we can scream together, right? We can scream. So basically, look, what we got here going on, I got my blankie, I got my cup of joe. Who said that? Who says that? Cup of joe. Who says that? Anyway, I'm just ready to talk. So, the Umbrella Academy, what is it? This is going to be Kayla's summary because what YouTubers usually do is they write notes and they're like, I'm so prepared here in my notes. Maybe when I get used to this whole YouTube thing, I can have notes. I can be prepared. But literally, I just turned on this camera and we just gonna talk. So this is gonna be my little summary. It's gonna be inaccurate. It's gonna be kind of inaccurate of what this show actually is. So let me get comfortable. All right. So this show is, oh, I'm already getting excited. I love this show, dude. I love it. So this show is basically about 7 kids who were born on the same day. I'm pretty sure it's October 1st. Don't ask me the year. I don't know the year. And they were all born at the same time. And it was crazy. That scene in season 1, that scene when the mother, she was swimming. I still remember. She was swimming, right? And she was I think she was one of those swimming ladies. That's doesn't matter. Anyway, so she was swimming, the girl was swimming, and then all of a sudden she goes underwater and then she comes back up and she's like, ah, because she's pregnant. She literally went underwater, came up from the water, and baby in the womb been there for 9 months. 9 months said like that. So basically, that's kind of how it begins, and they all just magically appeared in women's wombs, right? So then this dude, Reginald, evil father, evil, we'll get to that in a second, but evil, he sniffs this out. He said he sniffs it out, and then he's like, okay, let me take all these 7 kids, and he realizes they have powers and abilities, right? So then ooh, this is a summary. So then he gets them all together, trains them, abuses them, but trains them into becoming this whole force called the Umbrella Academy. So basically, season 1, I ain't gonna talk about season 1 because season 2 just came out, and I want to talk about season 2. So go ahead and watch season 1. I'm gonna make little references to season 1, but this is season 2 review, baby. Season 2 kind of starts out really cool, actually. I was really I was kind of confused because I'm a dummy. But I was kind of confused because they were all fighting, and they had that Frank Sinatra song in the background, and they were all just fighting and using their powers, and Vanya was ugh, and then my girl Allison, Miss Bang Gang in the second season, but she was I had a rumor this and I had a rumor that, and they were all just fighting and stuff, and I was ooh, it's getting lit. But then okay, the time stuff, the time switching, that was insane. Okay, in the beginning I was kind of confused because they were doing all that stuff, and then they were trying to explain the whole thing of time jumping and how many times these people time jumped in this show. It was ridiculous. So basically, Hodges, right? It's Hodges and Chi-Chi? Cha-Cha? Well, Cha-Cha's dead. Lord. Anyway, so basically, I'm pretty sure it's not Hodges. The white cop. He's talking to Five, and he's all like, look, Doomsday. Again, they had to deal with Doomsday in season 1, but season 2, they got to deal with it again. So then he's like, Doomsday, you got to stop it again. And then Five was like, again? And then the white guy was like, again. So then he puts like something in like his pocket. He's like, puts it in his pocket or whatever. And then they time jump. Boom! They time jump again. And then they're all ending up, like all of them, like Allison and Luther and Vanya and Diego. We'll get to him in a second. Oh! Diego and like Five. They all, and oh yeah, and oh my God. Help. What's his name? Hello, goodbye. What's his name? Klaus! Oh my God. Woo! Okay, but they all end up in the same decade, but like different times in the decade, which was interesting. But anyway, so they all end up there because they were supposed to time jump and get out of the Doomsday that happened in season 1. So then they all had to just like, what? And then it, you know, screwed up because Five's time jumps like always mess up. Like always. Like, anyway, so they're in the 60s. Hi, welcome to the 60s. Allison was not singing that same tune. She was like, oh, she literally, it was almost like when she jumped in, like she was like, oh, just running away. She realized when she walked into that restaurant and it said whites only, she said, I am black. Oh, I literally, when I was watching that, I was like, could you imagine? Like me, African-American woman, I could not imagine jumping back into like the 60s or the 50s and being, the anxiety skyrocketing. Anyway, so like they all end up in like, and they all are lost, right? And Five's like, I gotta get my crew back together because Doomsday, she's a coming again. So okay, we meet all the characters, right? Allison, she's in the civil rights with her bang gang. Vanya, she's in the barn. She's in the farm. She's with the barn. She's with, oh Lord. She's with Sissy and her son. And the only reason why I said, oh Lord, is because I forgot his name. This is why you have notes, children. Anyway, where's Luther? Luther is fighting. Like, monster. Like, he's fighting people, boxing them out and working for, I guess, a gangster. You know, like an Italian gangster, mobster person. I'm not sure. Definitely someone that looks like you can't really cross him, right? Diego in the mental institution. Okay. He's a psycho. He wants to save JFK, which we'll get into this in a second because I love Diego more than the next, but that's not the biggest issue. Anyway, Klaus is a cult leader. Which was such a good, it's like, of course, in another life, he is a cult leader, of course. And Five is, you know, mean, doing his little meanie things, being a bully, being a 12-year-old bully, you know, a 12-year-old bully, and they just living their lives. And then Five is trying to be like, okay, look, I gotta get this crew, I gotta get the crew up. Because Doomsday, she's coming. So we meet Diego. Okay, let's finally talk about Diego. He is fine. In the first season, you already know, he's like, oh, he's cute. You kind of like look at him like that. And you're like, oh, he fine. He cute. But in the second season, the long hair, the beard. Oh, Jesus. It was so, just delicious to look at. Anyway, his main thing is like, he was like, I want to save JFK from dying, and I can do it. And everyone's kind of looking at him like crazy. That's why you're in a mental institution. Because it's like, because they don't know yet. Remember how like they all been in the past and he's trying to say, so they don't know that he's about to die. Like, you know, JFK is about to die. But, ew. Oh, Lord, I thought there was a hair in my cup of Joe. Wait, it's not. I was about to sue Starbucks. Sue. Anyway, so, he's trying to like tell, and everyone's like, you have a hero complex. You need to calm down. You need to chill out, Diego. And he's like, no! JFK is gonna die and I gotta save him. And then he meets, then we meet Lila, right? Which I want to know what y'all feel about Lila, because I personally like her. I feel like she's got gaslit through this whole season. But you know what? We'll get into that later. I'm also very jealous of Lila. Jealous because she got to be with Diego with the long hair and the beard. And I'm sitting here having to watch. I'm sitting here having to watch her kiss him, her cuddle him, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous. So basically, they're kind of like their own little Bonnie and Clyde in the first couple of episodes, and they're like, let's just break out of the mental institution and we're gonna go. Also, the Swedish guys. Yes, I'm jumping. I know. I realize I'm jumping from point to point, but you know what? Just keep up. How about you keep up? Anyway, so the Swedish guys in there, yes, they were scary. Not as scary as Cha-Cha and the other white guy. I gotta know his name. This is gonna be really annoying if I figure out his name and then while I'm editing this, I have to sit here and look at myself being like, and the white guy. But anyway, yeah, no, they weren't as scary as Mary J. Blige was. Mary J. Blige was terrifying in the first season. I was like, this girl acting. But anyway, they were just cold-blooded assassins. It was really scary. Yeah, so they break in, right? This is where you meet the new kind of assassins, and they break into the mental institution. They're like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Oh, also, Five went into the mental institution to talk to Diego and was like, hey, guess what? Wake up. Doomsday. Again, remember that thing we went through in season 1? Happening again in season 2. Doomsday. And then Diego, doesn't care. He's like, well, I gotta save JFK. Back to the Swedish men. I swear to God, if they're not Swedish, and they're Russian or something, and I got it wrong this whole time. The scary, pale-looking white guys who are assassins and they kill. What is this? What is this? Anyway, so they're trying, because there are the assassins who are trying to get all this hair. They're assassins who are trying to get the Umbrella Academy, right? So, yeah, they were trying to look for Diego. And then every single time they were trying to find one of the members of the Umbrella Academy, they failed. They failed every time. It was actually hilarious. That's why they weren't as intimidating to me, because they didn't succeed. They're not gonna succeed. The only one they almost succeeded in was Allison. That was scary. So basically, where was I? The assassin? No. The asylum. Yes, so then Bonnie and Clyde, Lila and Diego, they escape, right? So they're like, zoom, zoom, we gotta go. And they meet up with Five. And then they meet Elliot, which, Elliot, R.I.P. Can we talk? R.I.P. Because, his death, that was sad. That was really sad. We'll get into that. But anyway, so right now I'm going to talk about Luther. Luther, in the first season, I hated him. And I think everyone did. Respectively, everyone did. What he did to Vanya, his little, I'm the number one, because they all, okay, forgot to mention when Reggie, evil father Reginald, adopted them. He didn't even give them names. He was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Neglect and abuse. A neglect. Do I hear a neglect? And do I hear an abuse? Anyway, Luther was just the worst. He literally had this weird comment, I'm the oldest, the typical oldest. I'm the oldest. I know what's right. And what's right is that I should kill Vanya. I should kill Vanya because her powers are just too dang dangerous and I don't understand it. Just like my father, who didn't care about me, who left me on the moon, who made me a monkey man. Because I care about my dad. Let me get my coffee. I need to calm down. Calm down, because Luther in the first season, I never wanted a character dead in my life. So then the second season starts out, and you think he's gonna like, you know, do something to Vanya again, get vengeance again. This is how he kind of like gets connected with Vanya, right? And I'll talk about Vanya in a second, because this is very interesting. This is so interesting. So, like, he is also the bodyguard. Sorry, I just got braces, and it's very hard to, like, talk and say, like, P's or B's or, like, anything. Anyway, so, he's also the bodyguard for his, like, mobster manager, right? Gangster. I don't know what he is. Somebody sound off in the comments, or just let me know. Who the heck was this man? And what was his duties in life? Because I don't know. But anyway, there's this drunk guy who happens to be someone that, like, Vanya knows or whatever. Look, I'll explain it later. He's, like, talking to the mobster, and he's like, oh, yeah, ideas, man, ideas. And then Luther was like, okay, you gotta go. And so he went. And then, like, Vanya was staying. Remember how I said Vanya was staying in the barn with Sissy and her husband and her son, right? Not Vanya, Sissy. Sissy has one son and a husband. That husband was the one who was talking to the mobster. So basically Luther was like, you need to get out. And then Vanya picked him up. And then he saw Vanya. Luther saw Vanya and had like flashbacks of like everything Vanya did to make his life miserable, basically. So then you think that Luther's about to just, you know, pull a season 1 and be a complete idiot, be a complete monkey man, be a complete stupid head, and just be like, oh, let's hate Vanya again. But no, he finds Vanya through, because the husband that Vanya picked up, right? Sissy's husband left his wallet, drunk idiot, left his wallet on the ground. And then Luther was like, oh, address, D. Okay, let me figure this out. So he does. Honestly, wait a minute. This is so random, but like, it was like the 60s. How did people survive without GPSs? When I was a child, I do remember those really big, like, maps that you just like look and be like, okay, like how did you look at the map and be like, okay, that's where we need to go? Like, how on earth did people survive without GPSs? Because like, I was a child. There was no need for me to open that big old map and be like, no. How did people do it? Anyway, he had to do it. So that's why I was like, how did he find her address without, you know, being like, hey Siri? Anyway, so he goes to Vanya's barn where she is, and you know, she's playing with Mason? Hunter? Still don't know that little white boy's name. I still don't know. He's playing with Max? No, all of these are wrong. So she's playing with him, playing hide and go seek or whatever. And, oh yeah, the little white boy, Sissy's son, autistic, can't talk. And he's like, Vanya! Like, okay, he didn't say it like that, actually. What? Kayla. Vanya, how are you? How are you, girl? Missed you. God, imagine. But anyway, he comes and he's like, Vanya, and she's like, who are you? Because let's talk about Vanya for a second. In season 1, she destroyed the world. She did. She got so mad, she blew up the world. So then in season 2, she blew up the world so much that she just forgot. That girl forgot everything. She forgot literally everything. She was like, what happened? What? When the world end? Whose fault was it? I hope it wasn't mine. Girl, yes. It was yours. So anyway, back to the barn. She's in a barn. And Luther comes and he's like, Vanya! And Vanya's like, who are you? New number, who this? And like, Luther, he had a gun, right? He had a gun in like his back. And you thought that he was gonna like get the job done, get his job done and kill her. But then he says he's sorry. I hope y'all are picking up what I am putting down. But he says he's sorry, Vanya. He's like, I'm sorry, Vanya, that I was a complete idiot to you and that I just couldn't handle I'm sorry, Vanya. And she's like, all right. What you sorry for? I don't know who you are again. So then Luther kind of goes like, you know, he kind of just like tells her everything. But anyway, that's where Vanya is. Klaus. Let's talk about Klaus. Cult leader. I honestly don't even know how like one thing came to another. He became a cult leader. He basically was like telling these people like lyrics from early 2000s songs. So somebody was like telling so somebody would come up to him and then be like, my life, like, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I don't know what to do, help me. And then he used to like look at them, look, listen to me. As an old prophet once said, my loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe. And they were like, prophet! Just quoting off of like these early 2000s or like late 90s songs, and that's how he became the prophet, the cult leader. And then, get this, he named his cult following Destiny's Child. I'm leaving. That was so funny. I just love Klaus's character because he's such like, it's just comic relief. Honestly, it's just so funny. I am part of Destiny's Children. That is so funny, man. I don't know. But anyway, so I forgot to talk about my main love, Ben. I love Ben so much. I am in love with him. He is so cute. Okay, so basically, Ben is one of the 7 kids who actually died, and Klaus's power is to connect with the dead. So basically, he connected with Ben, and then Ben has kind of been like this, and they kind of butt heads because Klaus is Klaus, and Ben is Ben. So they always kind of butt heads or whatever. But anyway, that's all I kind of have to say about that. I think I did a decent job. I didn't do a decent job of explaining all the characters. But now we're going to just sit here and talk about what I liked, what I didn't like. There was a lot of things that I liked more than I did not like. Let's talk about things that I liked, because that's easy. Because this season, to me, was so much better. But not so much better. Because season 1 was really good. Season 2, though, was like up the ante. And when because I loved yuck. Sorry. I thought there was a bug in the house. I was about to... It's the bug's house. It's the bug's house now. But anyway, so I liked season 1. I finished it in I think I finished season 1 in 3 days. It was really good. Season 2, I finished it so fast that it felt like a sin. It felt like a sin to finish something that fast. I started it the night, a night, right? So it was nighttime. It was 9 o'clock. And then I finished it in the morning. A sin. Gluttony is what that was. Ate it up. So I definitely liked season 2 more. This is so weird. I felt like season 1 was really gory, if anyone has seen it. It was really gory, and season 2 was gory too, but not as much as season 1. So I kind of appreciated that. It's still gory. another thing that I really liked Allison and Ray. I had this huge conversation with my friend, and we were talking about how we do not like the fact that Luther and Allison were like this thing when they're adopted. Yes, they're adopted, but it's still because it shouldn't have happened. It literally, write it out. And I feel like the writers knew that because we were screaming like on the rooftops. Like we don't want this. We don't want it at all. So anyway, in season 2, Allison times jump and she meets this really cute guy named Ray. Oh, I love Ray too. He was really nice. He got I shouldn't say he got annoyed, because anyone who has like a spouse that has superpowers and didn't know it yet, and wouldn't you be freaked out? Wouldn't you be freaked out if your, spouse started, I don't know, flying in the air or something? And you're just like, why are you in the air? Don't talk to me, you bird. Don't talk, bird. But anyway, yeah, I really like them. I really like how she was like, let me just explain everything, because guess what? The world's gonna end. So let me just tell you that I'm magical. Also, out of all of the characters, I would want Allison's power the most. Because that scene because they, how they were in the Negro days, they did the sit-in or whatever, and one of the cook, I feel dumb and uneducated if I say the worker. But the worker, he put some while Allison was sitting and doing her little sit-in, he spilled coffee on purpose on her lap and it burned her. Yeah, so I really liked how she used her power to get back at the racists and made him his hands burn. That's all I want to do. I was texting one of my friends about this and I was like, I would use her power and just tell, you know what? Controversial. I'm not going to get into that because I realize I'm doing a YouTube video and anyone can see this. So let's just say I would use this power to just end all racists. End them. I'd end them. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, great, awesome. As long as you're picking up what I'm putting down, it's fine. I liked the fact that the writers, when they were writing about the sit-ins, the civil rights stuff, all that stuff, that they didn't have the white actors say the N-word with the hard R. I liked that because a lot of writers would try to kind of slither their way into writing that in their script, and their excuse would be well, that's what they said back in that day, so why are you getting mad at me? That's what they said, that's what they did. Yes, but this is a 2020 audience, like a 2020 audience is gonna watch that, and what we know, don't say that, don't say that, and they did it, and I really like that. Yeah, they said Negro, but just try to because but they didn't say the N-word with the hard R. I kind of appreciated that because it was a lot, because they could have easily, but I'm not gonna sit here and congratulate a fish for swimming, but thank you for having the common knowledge, the common decency to do something like that. So I like that. Lila's powers. When I saw, okay, let's talk. Can we talk about this for a second? Okay, because they were at the barn, right? Because Hayden. No, that's not it. Because I will get it. I will get this name. He was creating tornadoes. Because he was what is this power? Help, Vanya. Tornado, just help. So then, they all band together and they're let's go help Vanya and her friend son, get his life together, basically. And they're at the barn, and Handler comes in, and there's Lila. And Diego was like, that's my ex-girlfriend. Oh, to be Diego's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend. It's whatever. Anyway, so, Vanya goes off and, okay, so wait a minute. Backtrack. The Handler was like, okay, we're here. We're ready to kill you. And then I forgot the other two. I'm pretty sure it was Five and Diego. It was like, oh, how are you going to do that when there's only two of us? It was only two of you. There's only two of you, and there's 6 of us. So have fun with that. Thinking they won. And the Handler was like, oh, that's funny. Boom! And then, there was an army. There was millions. There was millions of these alien life forms from, the commission, right? Coming in, and they were just like, what do you gotta say now? There's a million of us. There is 1 billion of us, and there are 6 of you. What do you gotta say now? And the Handler was like, attack. And they did. They were shooting that mug up. They were like, shooting it up. It was crazy. And then they were hiding. They were like, oh my God. And then Vanya comes out from the barn. She comes out. She's like, ah! She comes out. And she's like, doing her Vanya power and, kills all those commissioner people. Takes them out. So then, Vanya, they thought the war was over. They were like, we got Vanya. What are you going to do? We won again. Lila said, nope. Lila said, you thought. And came up. And the Handler was like, that was fun. Lila, show 'em what you got, Lila. Lila said, ah! And mimicked Vanya's power. Jaw dropped to the floor. So then we realized that her power is mimicking other people's only power. Isn't that insane? That is a good power. I was like, oh my God, she can mimic y'all's power. That is stressful beyond belief. Because I'm sitting here thinking I'm original. Nobody can do it like me, but apparently this girl was like, no, you're not. No, you ain't. So, yes, that was another part that I really liked. Also, remember when the Handler ate that goldfish? Gulped it? That was insane. Because it was AJ, one of the, he was a head commissioner. Because, when they thought the Handler died, she was literally almost going to be in that cremated oven. They almost put her in that oven. And she said, and they were like, she lives. This girl is alive. So, she came back to the commission, and AJ in his, fishbowl head was like, sorry. But yeah, the Handler, gulp, that was insane. Anyway, okay, let's get back into things that I didn't like. Because there are things that I didn't like. I didn't like that Elliot had to die. I know somebody had to die really tragically and really gory. I couldn't even watch that. I couldn't even watch it because how are you gonna sit here and have the last moments of that man's life be him interacting with a cat and being sweet? I thought Elliot, even though he was a loner, kind of crazy a little bit, he was sweet. And then they killed him in that horrific way. That was sad. That was really sad. I didn't really like that. I could even watch it. That was probably the only thing that I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to. Oh. It wasn't the only thing that I was like, let me sip the Joe before I say that. When Reginald came back from the assassination of JFK. And he was in that room with all the men, which I don't really know what they were there for. But he was in the room with the men. And they were talking. And then all of a sudden, they said, you better do this or else. And then Reginald, it is traumatizing. This is traumatizing. He went to the back of his neck. Okay, if I heard a oh no, it just started ripping his face off. He started from the neck. I don't know why it's so like scary to me that he started from the neck, but it did. He said back of his neck. Like, what is happening? What is happening? And then he ripped his face off, and I literally was, at this point, I turned the volume down on my laptop. I turned the brightness down on my laptop. I was like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I really don't want to see it. And everyone in that room was like, so what the heck is going on here? Everyone, what's going on? Huh? Hello? Do we need to go home? Do we need to go home? Do we need to call 911? Oh my God. He's sitting there, his neck. And take his face off. And we don't know what Reginald is. He ain't human. I'll tell you that much. He ain't human. He was an alien. He took it off. He had alien. But we didn't. I'm explaining the scene too fast because I'm just like reliving that experience. Reliving it. Oh my God. It was like he was an alien. But we couldn't see the front of his face. We could only see the back. And then like all of a sudden we just like, you know, the camera like zooms in on the fake face that he had the whole time while he was eating everybody in that little area who was threatening him to do something. Why? I didn't like it. It was a cool scene, but I didn't want to see it. I do not see it. My eyes closed. His neck. Terrifying. So now we don't know what like Reggie is, a human, alien. Don't know what type of alien. That was crazy. But anyway, closing thoughts before this video ends, because Lord Jesus, this is the longest video I've ever done in my life. First video. Oh my God. So anyway, closing thoughts. The end. Yo. The end was insane. That last episode 10. Come on, y'all. Let the church say amen. I don't know why we saying amen. It's just a good ending. That's why amen. Hallelujah. That was an ending. That was a cliffhanger. Literally, so what happened was their whole thing, because the Umbrella Academy, they like, you know, when season 1 started, it was in 2019. Thank God that it timed up to 2020, because they would have been like, what the heck is going on here right now? Hop right back in time in 2019. They're like, we done. We did it. Yay. We did it. We back. We did it. Yay. We did it. Yay. Congratulations. High five. Yeah. We back home. The Umbrella Academy. Ooh. And then someone was like, why the heck is Ben's photo on the mantle? What the heck is going on here? And then alien Reginald stands up and he's like, what up? Good morning. Thought you saw the last of me? Good evening. How was your day? How was your time hop? Your time jump? Because they thought they could sit here, because the whole time, this whole season, all they did was skip, hop, run, jump through time, and they didn't think that like anything was gonna happen to them. They didn't think. Like there was one part when I was literally like, Klaus, please stop. And he was trying to tell the love of his life, Dave, to not go to the war so he doesn't die. Right? So he doesn't die. And even though I get it, because I would probably, if I love somebody that much, the thought would cross my mind. It would. But to not think that any repercussions could come from that. Klaus, come on now. You hop, skipping, and jumping. And now you're back in 2019. Your daddy is still alive. It only takes one thing to ruin the time. Ruin the timeline. One thing, one little screw up. And they had more than just one little screw up. They had like 50 screw ups. So many screw ups. So anyway, back in 2019. Back to the 2019 when Reginald was like, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Guess what? Guess what? While y'all were, cartwheeling through time and space, I developed my own academy. Another academy. The Sparrow Academy. Good morning. Hi. And they all came on the balcony. We don't know what they look like because they're all, like in shadows and all that stuff. But then, Ben, because Ben is dead, right? So like, the only way we can see them, the audience can see it, is with Klaus, right? And we all thought Ben was gonna leave because Vanya was almost about to destroy the world again. I should explain this in the video, but I didn't. Sorry, didn't write any notes. Sorry. Vanya was about to destroy the world again, and Ben was like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. And then, during the whole little, interaction, they had in the head. So then, Ben, disappears. And we thought as the audience that was the last time we were going to see Ben. That was the last time. That's it. But no! He was there. He was there. Alive. And I screamed. Screamed. There he was. So yeah, that was the end of the Umbrella Academy. That was literally insane. I think what I'm gonna do is watch it again, because why not? I inhaled that season. If I forgot something, I know I did. I didn't have notes. This is my first video. Shut up. All right? Shut up. It's not organized. This is my first video. Chill out. Maybe a couple videos down the line, I'll be primed and proper. I'll be ready. But today I just wanted to finally start it. So here I am. First video. Done. If you liked what you saw, how about you subscribe to me? You want to subscribe? You don't have to. It's free country, but it would be really cool if you did. And like this video if you liked it. If you don't, shut up. Anyway, okay, my name is Kayla Baker, and I don't have an outro. I don't even have an intro. Goodbye. That was the outro. Goodbye. Good riddance. No, not good riddance. Just goodbye. Goodbye.